I do want to talk about your journey because it's fascinating to me that part of your background comes from the sports television business where you were a production assistant and cutting tape for Fox Sports, correct, Coach?
Yeah, NFL on Fox. Actually, I would drive to the set on Sundays, and I can't remember my title, highlight coordinator or whatever, but I think, my job was to sit and watch a game and log the game, and each screenshot when the camera would make a different screenshot, I would log it. Hey, close up on Emmitt Smith. Whatever the case may be, and then so when Howie, JB, and Terry, when you're watching the Packers versus the Vikings, and they say, hey, let's find out how the Rams and the Falcons are doing. That little 10-second, 15-second highlight deal would be my creation, and I thought I wanted to be like you, Rich, to be honest with you. Growing up, I did PA announcing for all of our men's, women's basketball and baseball in college, and had my own radio show, the whole nine. So I at one point in my life, I was really screwed up in the head, and I thought I wanted to be one of you guys, but it didn't work out that way. But I had a really good time doing it.
Well, I remember when I was doing highlights on SportsCenter way back in the day, perhaps before you were in with Fox Sports, that when I was handed.
Oh, I absolutely remember you on SportsCenter. You were one of my favorites, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Okay.
You're a tremendous stuff.
Great Caddyshack reference. Love it. But okay, so way back when I was a tremendous slouch on SportsCenter, when I do the shot sheet, and I know that I had somebody's very hard work in my hand, that if I did the highlight improperly or I screwed it up, that their hard work wasn't properly executed. Who was that guy on Fox, Tom? Let's call him out. Like, was it Terry? Was that the guy who when you handed it off, you were wondering if he was gonna actually do it right for you?
Those guys are pros, man. They're
Okay.
really, really good. The thing that I was always amazed just in there was that how big of human beings Terry Bradshaw and James Brown are. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think James Brown wears a bigger size coat than Howie Long.
There's no
Howie
doubt.
Long
Yeah,
is an enormous man. I mean, just a big dude, and JB and Terry are big. I mean, Terry for being a quarterback is a big guy too, and so. No, but I never really worried about handing off the shot sheet to any of those guys.
Okay.
They've been doing it for so long, and they're really good at what they do.
So when did you, Tom Herman, now of Texas football here on the Rich Eisen Show, when did you decide, what, I'm gonna go through the process of becoming a coach, a football coach? How did that transformation begin?
Really, the summer before my last fall, I redshirted, so I spent 4.5 years in college. I graduated in December, and the summer before my last fall, just kind of just pondering life and what I was going to do, and I just always I wanted to do something that where I woke up before the alarm clock, and where I was fired up every day to do that. And although I had spent my college years, kind of in the broadcast world, no offense, it didn't impassion me the way that really being in the locker room and competing on the field did. And obviously, I was never going to play this game professionally as a player, so I just said, hey, what's the next best thing? And to me, it was coaching, and I knew that I could always do this, and it's very nomadic. It doesn't pay very much. I mean, my first job was $5,000 a year coaching Division III football, and I always knew at 30, if it wasn't for me, or 29, 30, 31, that I could always hang up the whistle and go do something else. But I knew that if I was sitting in a cubicle somewhere or doing whatever, selling insurance somewhere, and at 30, 31 years old, if I wanted to go be a coach, that was probably an impossibility. So I said, hey, I'm going to try this while I'm young and see if it's for me, and it stuck.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you liked some of that, get some more of that on the Rich Eisen Show app. Follow